What is going on today, y'all? It is your boy Flex, got the water once again, back at it with another video. So today I'm just gonna get straight into it. So today we're gonna talk about self-inflicted wounds and how they affect you. So first off, we have to look at what are self-inflicted wounds. So self-inflicted wounds are, let's just say you go through something or you're going through something currently. It's pretty much a situation or a problem that is happening because of the decisions you are making, which entails into accountability. So the reason I'm talking about this is because there's a lot of people in this world that don't even realize that they're really the cause of 90% of their problems. And it's basically because of the decisions they make as a person. Now, you may look at yourself and you may look at others, and you're probably most likely you should look at yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and think to yourself, what is the main problem with me right now? If you constantly keep going through the same thing or you keep going through the same problem, 9 times out of 10, that's probably because you are doing something that's requiring or making you keep repeating the same thing. And what happens is that you keep making that same decision or you keep doing the same thing over and over again. My favorite quote is Albert Einstein. He said, insanity is the definition of pretty much you're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen, which is very true. And I live by this quote very, very much because I really like how it is true, because I did realize, like, with my younger years, I did realize that, yes, most of the problems that were happening to me were because of me, myself. And most people will usually, most of the time, blame others for their mistakes, or they'll look at everybody else except themselves, because the first route to solving a problem is yourself. And that's how I see this. So let me give y'all a little story that happened to me this week. So one of my homegirls was going through it, right? She was telling me about like all these things that were happening. And as I was listening to her, I was realizing that, wait a minute, this low key sound like you're the problem, or you have a problem that's self-inflicted. Now, what made me think this is, for example, if you are dealing with someone, I have this huge thing where don't deal with people that don't want to hang out with you, or don't force yourself to hang around people, or don't force what you want to do onto other people. Because at the end of the day, people gonna do what they're gonna do regardless, rather what you want or what you think. But my thing that I always believe is that only deal with people that want to deal with you. And you will cause a lot of your own like emotional and mental stress and problems just off of something like that. Because you may want people to do something a certain way, but it's not going to be that way. I think I even talked about that in my last video. There's no point in trying to force people to do things they don't want to do. And I'm telling you, if you learn to like set your expectations low for people, this is just like life. Learn to set your expectations low for people, because it littles the room for disappointment. Because one thing I've learned is that most of the people who do this are 9 times out of 10 too nice, and they don't know how to really say no, or they have this thing where they can't stand up for themselves. Not being able to stand up for yourself is a huge self-inflicted wound, which means that people will constantly run over you. People will never respect really what you have to say or what you want to do. That's because you're probably too nice, and you probably haven't like put that respect or like your foot down. And by the time you put your foot down, bro, it's probably already too late. Like, they're going to look at you like, what is he doing? Or what is she doing? Like, why? Like, dude, like, after all the things we've been through, because think about it. If you've done enough BS with people and you wait till like an even higher amount of BS to call them out, they're going to look at you like, well, why didn't you say nothing then? Why didn't you say nothing then? Why didn't you say when we did this? Why didn't you say nothing when we did that? That's usually how this stuff starts. And you know what that's called? That's called self-inflicted wounds. You caused that to happen because you didn't have enough like respect, or you value people liking you over people respecting you. And that's another thing that messes people up when it comes to these self-inflicted wounds, man. Some of y'all care so much about people liking you and people like adoring you and stuff. Bro, that don't matter. At the end of the day, I always preach this. Life is not about being liked, bro. It's not about being liked. It's about being respected. At the end of the day, if you have to force yourself, or you feel like you have to force people to want to hang out with you, or you hanging out with people you don't want to hang out with, or you feeling like the people you want to hang out with don't want to hang out with you, then like, bro, 9 times out of 10, because you're trying to force something to happen that's not going to happen. One thing that I've learned is that let the natural order of things happen. If something is meant to happen, it's going to fucking happen. There's nothing you can do about that. There is absolutely nothing you can like write in a book. But the problem is some of y'all want things to go your way so badly that if you allow that certain mental pressure and that certain like mental strain to build up, it's gonna lead to even bigger mental strains and stuff. And this is what causes it. Stop being nice, bro. If it's not benefiting you, stop being nice. Like, just stop. Because you sitting over here worried and trying to get people to do what you want them to do, bro. You wondering why you stressing. You wondering why like you can't sleep at night. You wondering why like you got all these stress headaches, bro. That's why. Stop trying to force things to happen that just aren't gonna happen, bro. It's just not. And I get it. Like, as humans, I know as humans we're selfish. We want things to go our way, but we have to understand in life that shit ain't gonna happen all the time, bro. But you sitting here, like, if you sit here and like you cry and complain about it, then I just see you as a hypocrite. Because like, okay, from most situations that I have seen, me personally, I'm only speaking from my experience. Most people who would complain about things like, oh, people hanging out, 9 times out of 10, they're hypocrites. Because wait a minute, there is always somebody who is willing to like deal with you. And I'm not saying like deal, but someone who's willing to like actually want to be around you. Sometimes you don't want to be around that person, or you choose not to be around that person, but you would rather hang out with people who you have to like force, or you can't even state your opinions, or you have to basically beg to hang out. You see how kind of like, I'm just saying, to me, I don't know, y'all can call me out if I'm wrong, but to me that sounds more like a hypocrite. Like, wait a minute, if you're sitting here whining and complaining about that when you have people around that willing to do that, you're a hypocrite. To me, it just seems like you want attention. Like, bro, I get it, bro. Like, just because something don't go your way don't mean you gotta like be sad about it. Like, bro, move on with your life, bro. I think the best thing I ever learned to do is to stop hanging around people that are, there's a saying that I've heard that my grandma taught me. Don't go somewhere unless you invite it. Don't force yourself into something. That's the problem. You trying to force yourself into something, or you're trying to invite yourself into a situation that you don't even, that one, you're probably not even meant to be in. It's probably not meant to happen. And then you're going to wonder when something goes way like sideways more than like the right way. Because like I said, if everything is meant to be, it's going to go naturally. But if you try to force yourself into a situation that's not really benefiting you, or a situation that's like, oh, well, they didn't invite me, or, oh, I'm trying to hang out with them and they, oh, I want to go out, or I want to do this. And you want to sit here and whine about that when you have people that are willing to do that. To me, that seems like, because there's always one person that's willing to do it. It's just, as humans, we want a certain person, or we want the people we want to do certain things. But that's where you mess up at. You can't do that. If people want to do something for you, they're going to do it for you regardless. No matter how you like feel, or no matter how they view you. People going to do shit for who they want to do shit for. It ain't about like, oh, I'm going to get him to sit, I'm going to ask him to see. Like, bro, if you got to do all that shit, if you got to test people to see if they want to do something with you, bro, you probably don't need to even be around these people to begin with. And let me apply this to even relationships as well. So, like I just said, bro, people do things for who they want to do things for, bro. You have to sit here and guess what somebody wants. They probably don't want you. If that girl ain't text you back by now, bro, she probably don't want you. Because let's be real, bro, she on her phone 24/7, bro. She probably don't want you. Not you blowing up your phone, but you blowing up her phone, that's called you trying to, like I said, apply pressure or whatever you want to call it, but trying to force something to happen that's not going to happen. If it was natural and it was supposed to happen, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Females, it's the same thing for y'all, bro. If you have to question a dude about what if he wants you or not, 9 times out of 10 he don't want you. Because one thing about a dude, if we want you, it's just going to be pretty obvious that we want you. You have to allow yourself to not let like delusion and your emotions like overtake you, because that's when you start causing like more self-inflicted wounds and everything. That's when all those things that happen. Like, you over here stressing about it, like depression, anxiety, overthinking. That's where this stuff comes from. Because you're trying to force something that's not happening. Why do you think these are the consequences of trying to go against the natural order or the natural flow of how things are supposed to go? You over here trying to blow this girl phone up. You over here sending all this in. It's like, well, for God, I hope you ain't paying her bills. You sending her all this stuff. You paying for all this stuff for her. But like I always tell people, if she really messed with you like that, you wouldn't have to do that. Females, for y'all, you sitting over here texting this dude, wondering is he gonna text back? Is he talking to other? Like 9 times out of 10, first, especially if it's a dude. Females, this is coming from a dude. Dudes ain't hard to figure out. We're very simple. It's just you allow your delusion and your emotions to like just take control of you. And if it's the dude you want, because y'all want it to be the dude you want to do all these things. The female, I want y'all to understand, the dude you want ain't gonna always do shit for you, bro. And I'm a dude and I'm telling you this. Take it how you want. Say what you want to say, bro. But at the end of the day, you hearing it right from the horse's mouth. The dude you like ain't gonna always do shit for you. Because if I'm a dude and I know this girl likes me, they know you like them. And oh God, oh boy. Females, I'm gonna tell you this shit right now. If you let a nigga hit before you in a relationship, consider yourself like you over with, bro. You are over with. Like, you probably gonna be like, oh, like, why I got like, hey, because females do it, bro. Trust me, I got a lot of female friends. They do it. Trust me. And it all ends the same way, bro. You sitting over here trying to have sex with a dude and y'all not in a relationship. Oh, what I gotta take you seriously for? But you know what that's called? That's called self-inflicted wound. You caused that to happen because you couldn't control your emotions. And I get it, women, y'all are emotional creatures, and I understand that. But you have to know that, I get it, y'all bodies are sacred temples. Everybody's body is a sacred temple. But the moment you start letting your emotions control your decisions, that's when you're more likely for those freaking, like I said, them self-inflicted wounds to happen, because you can't control your emotions. And that's what people tend to forget. Most of your worst decisions are gonna come from your emotions. And I get that. Because as humans, we have emotions. No matter how much we try to be nonchalant about or try to hide them, we have emotions. And this is going to cause us to like do things or act out or crash out. Like I said, I heard crash out is like a new term now, but that's what causes dudes to like crash out, or for females to like just mentally lose it. Like, if you really just take a moment to just sit back, look at your life. I want you after this video to just sit back, take a look at your life right now, and think, what caused most of these problems? For example, I'll tell you the story thing, or let me tell you something I do every time. My past, I would say it's only 3 relationships in my life that I've actually taken serious. Each time, like, I don't always like to blame the woman. I always, like, obviously there's faults, but you have to know, because this is going to tie into another thing. I'm the type where if something went wrong, it's 2 sides to every story and it's 2 parties. I have to learn about myself. I say, okay, I can do this better. I can work on communication for my next relationship. I can do this. I can treat her like this. And true, that woman or that dude, if female dude be watching this, may have had faults. But sometimes you have to look at yourself and think, you were not always perfect. Because like I said, one thing, like I told you, I'm so tired of hearing that speech for like female. I'm just like, I don't mean no offense when I say this, but it seemed to me y'all all run the same game. Like, y'all was just a perfect human being, but your ex was toxic. Like, come on now. Like, dude, we know that ain't true. I've never claimed that I'm perfect, but I'm a good person. But I also understand the fact that at the end of the day, not everybody is perfect, bro. You got problems you got to solve too, just like I do. So for you to sit here and act like something wasn't your fault all the way, or you didn't have no faults in the situation, that says a lot about you, bro. And that's, you know what that's going to lead to? More self-inflicted wounds. You're going to keep repeating the same thing. What I said earlier in the video, the definition of insanity is for those people who keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen. Because you don't want to look deep in yourself and realize, you know what? I got problems I need to fix. I got problems that I could work on. This relationship, the reason why this relationship failed wasn't all her fault. I had faults too. I need to work on that. So the next time I get in one, I can be better for my next partner, and that allows me to become a better person. I want you to look yourself in the mirror, or you need to look at a past relationship that you had and think to yourself, what did I do? What could I have done better? Even if it was their fault, there's still things you can work on. Because like I said, people who are the most successful are constantly improving, bro. So without further ado, man, I'm Fliss got the water. I got the water, but I can't make you drink it, bro. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.